Now then, people, welcome back to the Just Joe Football Show. It's the deadline show. I was hoping Leeds United were going to bring us some exciting news, but it doesn't look like that's going to happen, does it? Let's be totally honest. I don't know about this behind me, but I felt it was better than just the Leeds badge, you know what I mean? Let me know in the comments. But it is your transfer deadline day stream. I'm going to try to be live as often as I can throughout the day. The plan is obviously do this. Jesse's got his press conference, so I do my live press conference reaction after that as well. Be interesting to hear what Jesse says. Then we'll pop back live. Then we've got the watch along tonight, and then we'll end the night with the stream. So it's going to be a busy day on the channel. Please do smash a like on the channel, on the video. Sorry, subscribe to it, get your comments in, and hit that notification bell. And of course, let's get into transfer deadline day on the Just Joe. I don't think I do it. Arsenal started like a house on fire. Signing number 2 for this new era. It's Judgment Day, people. Yeah! What did your boy tell you? It was never in doubt. Never in doubt. Don't believe in any luck, I believe I'm self-made, yeah. Yes, keep it locked. As I say, you need your notifications on as well because we'll be going live numerous times throughout the day. Get your comments in, get your thoughts. We're going to cover as much as we can. I've got the deadline day streams. I've got the deadline day news outlets all linked up on my screen here so we can keep up to date with everything, not just Leeds United. But let's talk, obviously, about Leeds United, the Cody Gakpo deal. We're going to start with that. Gakpo would have been amazing, says James. I agree with you, Sir Scotty. We'll get into that. We'll go through each club. We'll go through each club, done deals, outgoings, etc. Let's do that, right? Let's talk about Cody Gakpo. First of all, just from a Leeds United perspective, I've got my hat on because I need to cut my hair, man. So basically, last night, Victor Orta boarded a private jet from Doncaster to Eindhoven, and then the return flight was booked for 8 a.m. this morning. On that return flight, there was supposed to be 8 people. One of them listed on there was Cody Gakpo. Cody Gakpo was not on that flight. There's a lot of chat, people saying PSV didn't want to sell. Did have sold. It seems to me Cody Gakpo's had a change of heart. Louis van Gaal's got involved as well, and maybe had a word with him ahead of the World Cup. Maybe told him not to make the move. Frustrated at that. Used to manage Man United as well, didn't he? I didn't mind Louis van Gaal. Now I can't stand the man. I don't understand his logic behind telling him not to go to Leeds United because he'd have still got into the World Cup squad. Maybe he said to him, look, stay where you are. You know, you're starting, you're scoring in the league. Stay where you are and look again in January. Like Jacob Eden says, apparently we'll go back in January. For me, I don't think it'll happen. I put Cody Gakpo now, right, into that category of Joseph Guardiola, Mateus Cunha, Rodrigo de Paul, all these different names that Leeds United have been linked to. And admittedly, some will say, oh, well, we weren't close to signing them, etc. But basically, there were players that were genuinely linked to Leeds United. And for whatever reason, we didn't get the deals over the line. All of them players now have gone on, you know, RDP, Mateus Cunha play for Atletico Madrid. Gvardiol's been touted for a multi-million-pound deal to the Premier League. Tottenham have been linked. Chelsea have been linked. So another one where you look at and you think, oh, man, imagine if we'd have got them players. Imagine the money, even if they don't stay at Leeds for a long time, but imagine the money they recuperate and then we can go again and improve our squad. I think in January, Cody Gakpo goes to UEFA Champions League club. Leeds United are in that running in January, for me. I don't think. I can't see that happening. I think he can. It's so far we know it happens, right? He will smash it. Now, he scored a hat-trick last night, for God's sake. He scored a hat-trick last night. He'll continue to smash it. He plays normally like number 9 for Holland, I believe. He'll probably go and smash it in the World Cup. And then a Champions League club will come in for him. And Leeds United won't be in the running, you know? There you go. Jamie says it's mad that we found 38 million under the carpet but can't get Adams or Hwang Hee-chan, Joe. Because, yeah, well, listen, I advocate the signing of Hwang Hee-chan. I advocate the signing of Shea Adams. But the club, I understand, don't want to pay over the odds for them players, and I totally get that, and I side with them on that, because for me, either of them players are a bit of a stopgap. We need to then improve the number 9 position and go for a big signing in the summer for me if Bamford isn't fit, and I don't think he will be fit. I think he's on the wane. Personally, I hope I'm proved wrong, but I think we'll need to go for a big number 9 next summer. That would be my preference. So I don't want the club to go out and just waste 25 million on Hwang Hee-chan or Adams, because I don't think they're worth that. I don't think they're worth that. However, we bid for Hwang Hee-chan. So regardless of what you think of the Gakpo situation, Leeds United's first preference was Hwang, because they bid for him. When they didn't see that deal happening, there was like, you know what, with Gakpo, they seen what was happening with Southampton and thought, we've got a bigger draw than Southampton. We're a bigger club than Southampton. Get that jet booked. I'm going over to Eindhoven and get that deal done. And I believe Leeds United would have pipped Southampton to the post. But whatever happened this morning, Gakpo did not board that flight. Victor Orta came back on his own on that private jet, probably crying, you know. Victor Orta gets a lot of stick. I rate him. I'm more frustrated at those that are above him, to be honest. What I don't understand is, why have you waited? Why have you waited for the Dutch deadline last night? That doesn't mean they can't sell. They can still sell. However, they can't buy in. So they can't replace Gakpo. So you're leaving them in a situation where they can't replace him. Why didn't we do this last week? Or when they got knocked out of the Champions League? Why didn't we go in for him then? When did they play Rangers? When did they actually play Rangers? Let's have a look. What date was that? Like 24th of August. 24th of August. It's the 1st of September. You have had 8 days in effect. 7 days. 7 days to resolve a full week. A full week to go out and sort that situation out. There's a lot of, they signed El Ghazi. I'm not sure he was a replacement for Gakpo personally, because the guy yesterday who was doing all the reporting from the PSV end was the guy that was saying they were trying to get deals over the line in order to replace Gakpo late last night. But we could have definitely had... we've had a tweet here as well from Mike McGrath at The Telegraph. I'll share this with you now. This is breaking news. This will happen throughout the day. So Mike McGrath at The Telegraph reports that Dan James currently in limbo. You've got a feel for Dan James. You have got a feel for Dan James, because as I said to you yesterday, it felt that Leeds United were pushing him out of the door. Although it was being reported that Leeds are happy to keep him, etc. But from what I was told yesterday, and I brought it to you on stream, he was being touted out. I believe 2 Tottenham, 2 Brighton. I know Brighton are not on that list. Maybe Brighton have said no to him, but Brighton were interested in him prior to his move to Leeds, as were Leicester. And it's been reported here that he's currently in limbo. I received information yesterday, and again, you don't have to believe the hype. I understand why you wouldn't. I'm just a guy on YouTube, but I received a message yesterday to say that Dan James was actually in London. I don't know how true that is. Someone might be able to fact check me, but I received the message to say that he was in London. Obviously, Spurs are interested in him. Fulham are interested in him as well. And he's currently in limbo. He has permission to speak to other clubs, but he's been left in a scenario where Leeds have to sign a player in order to replace him. We surely can't let Dan James leave and then not bring anyone in. That would just take the window from a 7 down to a 5. You know what I mean? The window started so good. But look, clubs want Dan James. That's, I guess, positive from a Leeds United perspective, because I'm not massively sold on him. But if we do need to sell in order to buy, we know that clubs are willing to buy Dan James. Our 2 main targets are Hwang Hee-chan and Gakpo. I believe now that Gakpo's not going to happen. I don't see it happening now. The fact that Victor Orta's come home in the morning, etc., they've still been out there trying to thrash out a deal. Hwang Hee-chan, I believe, could be doable, and it may be one we see late in the window, because, as I say, we did bid for Hwang Hee-chan. 17 million was the figures that were being touted out. Obviously, Someone's just tagged me in reluctant Nico's tweets, but I can't see it. Can anyone see reluctant Nico's tweets? He's the guy at, I can't remember which press, but if you disagree with anything he says, he just straight blocks you. I've not like been negative towards him or anything like that. It's not my shtick. I don't do that because I've had it done to me. But if you disagree with anything, reluctant Nico says he just blocks you. I think a lot of you will be blocked from him, to be fair. If you say, no, that's not true, man, he just blocks you straight off the bat. That's fair play to him, innit? You can do that. Please do notify me if you see anything, you know, and please do that. Kai Wagner is waiting for a phone call from Leeds on deadline day, but Leeds' focus is on attacking reinforcements. Philadelphia Union left back. Obviously, we know Jesse was keen on him. I don't see Leeds United signing a left back personally. Let's have a look at some of the other names. Like I say, we will cover as much as we can, and I will come off at about 1:30, maybe a little bit before, because I want to obviously cover Jesse Marsh's press conference, which I do. You guys know that I do a live reaction to that press conference. It's not gone up as of yet as to what time that will be, but when it does, I'll watch that. Because it'll be interesting to see what Jesse says as well, because you know for a fact he's going to be asked questions on that. People as well, the chat's very busy. If I miss your chats and stuff, I do apologise. I will try get to as many of them as I can. As you can imagine, there's loads of news happening. You know, you're following it left, right and centre. There's 363 people watching as well. So if you can, please do smash a like on the video. It massively helps the channel. Let's have a look at, see, someone said they've tagged me and stuff on Instagram. I get a lot of notifications. Sometimes I miss them. Cody Gakpo, Leeds agreed a deal with player and offered more than Southampton. Van Gaal's apparently said to Gakpo, don't make the move. I believe. Someone's just said, yeah, I've also been blocked by reluctant Nico. He does it all the time, man. My mate's going to send me the image though, hopefully. So I'll wait and see what he sends me. Legend, thank you for that, bro. He sent it me on WhatsApp. Let's have a look. See what he said. Okay, so he's been asked the question, any more signings for first team for Leeds United, or is it just going to be James leaving? And he's actually put Juan is still live. And LUFC and I has just notified us of that as well. And Leeds in for West Ham. Ashby? Who's Ashby at West Ham? Is that another youngster? Listen, as much as I want to fail safe our future and all that, we need first team signings, man. Don't be messing about. Harrison Charles Ashby is a Scottish professional footballer who plays as a defender for Premier League club West Ham United. He's 20-year-old. Leeds United asked West Ham about star player Ashby. Harrison Ashby is another one that's been linked. We were linked as well yesterday to John Egan. I like John Egan. I've rated him. Was he at Brentford? I think before he moved to Sheffield United. I think, wasn't he? I rated him there. He's a good ball playing defender. He was at Brentford and went to Sheffield United, but I don't see us being after him. But apparently we're after Harrison Ashby. He's played 7 minutes in the Premier League back last season. He played 7 minutes in the Premier League again, a bit like Sonny Perkins. I don't know. Like I understand bringing him in, but if it's for the future. But for me personally, all today should be about is signing a striker. You've got to sign a striker. The agents of Dan James are trying to find him a move. Not part of Jesse Marsh's long-term plans. Understand that. Tottenham unlikely, Fulham and Everton are options. There you go. So it looks like Dan James will leave and he's in limbo. I do feel a bit sorry for him, but listen, I think as a player, I can understand why Leeds United personally would look to move him on. He worked under. I'd argue he didn't work, but he was better in Bielsa's system due to the width that we used, getting in behind, stretching the play. With Jesse being so narrow, I think Dan James lacks a lot of the key fundamentals to be able to work in that system. You need players that are tricky, that are technical, that are able to beat a man. I don't think Dan James has that in his locker, personally. People disagree. I know JT said yesterday he's got good dribbling skills. For me, he hasn't. Football's about opinions. He's a bit like a cat chasing a ball of wool. It's just all about speed. Could understand why Everton would be interested in him, because again, with the system that they played against Leeds, they're looking to play on the counter. They're looking to play sit in a low block and get off. Same with Spurs. I could understand why they were interested in him. He would only play a bit part, 10, 15, 20 minutes at the end of the game in order to stretch the play. A substitute for Kulusevski, perhaps, playing in the Champions League in dead rubbers. But for Leeds United, I don't understand what he can bring. Look, I would argue against Everton, every single substitute made an impact by Dan James in that game for me. I don't know what he offered. Idrissa Gana Gueye looks like he's going back to Everton. That's a great signing for me personally. I think that's a class signing. I will keep you up to date. Yeah, Paul G. Yeah, he does it. Listen, he likes to offer a counter narrative, but it's good though, right? It's good to have that, to definitely have that. So just some other deals around. Chelsea are hoping to sign former Arsenal striker Aubameyang. Liverpool are trying to sign Juventus midfielder Arthur Melo. Leicester are in talks to sign Belgium defender Wout Faes from French club Rennes, obviously looking to replace Wesley Fofana, who's now currently at Chelsea. Willy Bolly, he's going to complete his move to Nottingham Forest. Nottingham Forest, I wonder what their owner's thinking about now, considering they got slapped 6-0 yesterday. Of course, City, man, we got beat 7 from them previously, but and it's not any easy game, especially when you've got Haaland up top. That guy's inevitable. But yeah, it'll be interesting to see what happens there. West Ham are considering whether to move for Southampton centre half Jan Bednarak. Don't rate Jan Bednarak. Would he be an improvement on Craig Dawson if Craig Dawson gets his move? There's a number of clubs after him, including Leicester, potentially. Like I said, Idrissa Gana Gueye to Everton. And also James Garner. James Garner is another one Leeds United were linked to previously, back when he was playing in the Championship. I remember doing a video on that fact. They were keen admirers of James Garner, but it looks like he could be on his way to Everton as well. Maitland-Niles has completed a move to Southampton. I think that's a good move for them as well. I don't know what that's a picture of. I'm not good on aviation, but someone's said there's a private jet from Leeds Bradford Airport going to Nice. I don't know who would be in Nice. Is Martin Terrier close to Nice? I don't know. Joseph Gvardiol, another player Leeds United were linked to in the past. Gvardiol from Leipzig was going to agree a deal with Chelsea for around 75 million and then be loaned back to Leipzig. But he's now signed a 1-year contract extension at Leipzig, so he's not going to Chelsea. Do you know what I like about Gvardiol? He had a similar sort of stick with Leeds United. Leeds watching Bamba Dieng, apparently. Let's have a look at that on Sky. Sky Sports. The last Leeds United thing I've got is about James set to leave with Spurs, Everton and Fulham keen. Bamba Dieng, where are we seeing that? I've not seen that anywhere on my timeline yet, and like it might be out there, but I don't know the credibility of it until it comes up on my notifications, because I've got all them top tier journalists. But we'll wait and see. Just brought live on Sky, pal. There you go. Well, let's have a look on the deadline day live news feed that I've got. The last time they updated anything was Khalid Takar in London amid Premier League interest. I think Marseille's Kalita Carr could be going to Southampton, West Ham, or Villa. Akanji, obviously, that's confirmed. He's going to Manchester City. I thought they were done, you know. I didn't understand them going for a centre back. Let's have a look on the internet then at Bamba Dieng, Senegalese footballer. News. Just have a look. Leeds. I'll put Leeds and see what comes up. These were all like 2 weeks ago, the latest news stories. I know people are saying it's been right. Okay, Leeds United monitoring Brazilian striker, Flamengo striker Pedro. I mean, he's in Brazil. Could he get a work permit? Could that happen up to 11 o'clock? I'm not sure. Let's have a look. So Leeds are reportedly keeping an eye on Flamengo striker Pedro, according to Fabrizio Romano. I've not seen that from Fabrizio Romano. Let's have a look. Unless it was on his podcast, but I will search it. Pedro. When did Romano say that? It's first I've seen, you see, first I've heard from that. Pedro, Brazil. Let's have a look at Pedro then. So let's just go on from the rest of that article. He claims the Whites have been monitoring the Brazilian for a prolonged period of time, but it will have to move quickly if they want to secure his signature before 11 p.m. deadline. Pedro spent much of his career in Brazil, starting at Fluminense, where he netted 20 goals in 58 games. He had a brief spell in Serie A with Fiorentina, so that would mean that he could potentially move on to he could move to the Premier League. He will have had to have a work permit to work in Italy. So, but he did just play 4 matches before moving on loan to Flamengo. He's netted 20 times across 48 matches in all competitions. Whilst at Flamengo, and Romano told Give Me Sport, I'm told that the player have been monitoring for a long time is Pedro from Flamengo, the Brazilian striker. But the problem with the South American transfers is the timing. Of course, we're now close to the end of the window, so they need to be fast if they want to do a South American deal. I'm not sure that one happens. Do you? That's a very tricky transfer for Leeds United to get done on deadline day. But listen, it could all be posturing and smoke screening just to say, oh yeah, we tried. You know, I can't wait for Angus's next program notes. I'll tell you that much. But let's keep up to date. As I say, it's all going off. Gvardiol, he signed a new 1-year contract extension. Celtic closing in on a move for Oliver Abildgaard, Danish midfielder. Leeds United news is saying long-term Leeds United target and former Jesse Marsh player has signed a contract extension. That's on obviously on about Gvardiol. Yeah, that's Gvardiol. We don't really need to know about that, do we? Because he's not here. They reckon Bamba Dieng from Marseille today. I've not seen anything credible as of that to come yet. So I'm not too sure. I'm not too sure about that one. I hope I'm wrong. I don't know much about Bamba Dieng. I can't lie to you. Still no update on Leeds United when that press conference is going to be. I'll keep up to date with that. Paul's tagged me in a tweet. Good man. Thanks for tagging me in the tweet. Please do like the video as well, folks. Please, we've only got 154 likes and there's nearly 500 people watching. I asked a poll as well, will Leeds United sign a striker today? And 69% of you think it's no. Paul's tagged me in a tweet. Let's have a look. This is from Sammy Mockbell, chief football reporter at the Daily Mail. He said Leeds are working on a deal to sign Marseille forward Bamba Dieng, rated as one of the most exciting prospects in European football. Listen, I think could we get? Oh, it'd be amazing, couldn't it? There we go. Tim Fortin was reporting live outside Ellen Road regarding Bamba Dieng. I should have Sky Sports News on here. Damn. I didn't think that. I'll do that when I get back on. I've got their news feed up, you see, but not the actual Sky Sports News itself. Let's see what BBC is saying. It's all about Aston Villa offer initial 10 million to Wolves for Leon Dendoncker. Sen says, will we see any signings? Potentially, mate. I think Leeds United look like they are trying to do a striker. There's a lot of news coming out. Leeds are interested. Right, okay, it's been reported now by Football Daily. We are interested in signing Marseille forward Bamba Dieng. Let me just listen to what's Bamba. Football Daily covers a lot of the Sky Sports News stuff, so it's just a video on Twitter. So I'm just going to have a quick listen to that. Tracking. Let me. This is the piece that you're talking about now. This has come from Tim Thornton outside Ellen Road. Let me just do that. I was so sad to see Gakpo stay at PSV. So same here. Right, let's see what Tim Thornton's saying, folks, and I'll relay it to you. What's happening? Why is it not coming through my headset? One sec. Come on, man. The charge up. 1 sec. You don't get this, do you, on Sky Sports News? Right, I'm just going to listen. Leeds are still active. He said. And Tim Thornton says, we are interested in Bamba Dieng, Senegal international. Apparently been tracking for a while. Could be arriving at Ellen Road today. Says Tim Thornton. We've been tracking him for a while. Apparently, Leeds United are interested in Bamba Dieng. Let's do a bit of digging on Bamba Dieng and see what his numbers tell us, etc. Exciting. We've moved on from Cody Gakpo. Right, okay. Bamba Dieng, Senegalese footballer, right-footed, 22-year-old as well. Let's have a look. So if we look at his comparison, 1 sec, I'll share my screen here again. You know, I'm not the brightest when it comes to this sort of stuff. But what they do is, obviously, this is in terms of across Europe's top 5 leagues where he ranks. So he's in the top 89% of people for non-penalty goals, etc. Right? And then what they do, they compare them stats against other players. So whoever he's closest to in terms of statistical data, they then compare him with them players, right? So Bamba Dieng is close to, from a statistical standpoint, to Martin Terrier, Sadio Mane, Kevin Volland, Jared Bowen, etc. So that's exciting when you see that he's very much linked to them type of players. If we have a look at his numbers, so this season, last season, 25 games, 7 goals and 1 assist. Not great numbers, as I say, but like's been reported, he's one of the most exciting prospects. He's got decent defensive numbers as well. Like sometimes you'll see high here, low there, but it's pretty similar across both. Touches in the attacking penalty area, up there with the top 93% of players across the leagues. So that's really refreshing to see. Yes, it is in the French league for sure. He's the new Mane, says D. Turley. Yeah, there'll be people who'll know a lot more about Bamba Dieng than myself. Let's have a look at Transfermarkt, what they've got to say on Bamba Dieng. Let's have a look. See, I haven't done a video on Bamba Dieng. I haven't seen, as linked to him at all, really, this window. Let's have a look. So he's predominantly a centre forward. So that's his main position, but can play left or right as well. So he can play across that from free. Let's have a look at Danny Rose has been let go by Watford. No, definitely not. What? No. I don't understand. Everyone's entitled to their opinion, but I don't understand people wanting Barkley on the bench or even Danny Rose. Danny Rose got tortured at Watford last season in the Premier League. Like, why? Why are Leeds going to take him? We have loftier heights than what Watford did in the Premier League. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, I think we need to be moving on from players like that. I mean, how old is Danny Rose these days? Let's have a look. He's 32, man. Nah, sorry, no. We don't need Danny Rose, not for me. Definitely not. Right, let's see what some of the news articles that were reporting about Bamba Dieng have had to say about him. One of Marseille's most productive players last season and a breakout star in the African Cup of Nations for Senegal. Obviously, they won it as well. Let's have a look. Newcastle were interested. Very versatile attacker with incredible athleticism. Let's have a look at some of the other people talking about Bamba Dieng. Just bear with us one moment. Mock Leeds News. Let's have a look what they've had to say about it. Leeds may have left it too late. This is a couple of weeks ago. There's 10 goal involvements in 25 league games last season. People throwing water on it there, though, saying that we hope the club have better options in mind. At this point, I'd take anybody personally. I don't know what you folks think. And there's also the chat about the plane that's left to Nice. So it'll be interesting to see. Helen continues to tag me in the stuff. Angus or Victor done about 300 laps of the office so far on the phone. Looks active. Okay, there's a video doing the rounds. I'll show you this. I'll share you this. Someone's outside Ellen Road. I absolutely love that, you know. But whoever's in that office there is pacing. It looks like Angus to me, the bell pipe. But someone's in there trying to make things happen. Otto's hopefully on a flight to. Hopefully he's on a flight to Nice. Yeah, Danny Rose has left Watford by mutual consent after his contract was teared up. Tim Thornton, Leeds interested in signing Marseille forward Bamba Dieng. 3 Premier League clubs also interested in Dan James. If you can move Dan James on and bring in Bamba Dieng, I'm all for it. Thanks for everyone that continue to tag me in news reports and stuff. That means a lot that you're taking your time to do that for me. We've got 536 people watching, so please do smash a like on the video already if you haven't, please. Let's just check the current like ratio. We're on 217. Let's see if we can get that up to 300 likes. Any more news on? Listen, like, this is why I disagree with the chat about us going back in for Gakpo. Like, we need a striker now. I don't think we will go back in for him in January if we do get Bamba Dieng over the line. Or Mantra says no, we need DJ. I disagree. I don't think we do. If I'm being totally honest, I don't think we do. I don't see what he brings. I know people disagree with me, but I'm not sure we do. But there you go. It's football's a game of opinions, isn't it? Listen, at this point, Haroldinho, I would take Ben Brereton Diaz, but I'm not keen on him, bro. There's a reason why he's still in the Championship. There's a reason why Premier League scouts have maybe said before in the past they're not sure that his qualities would adapt to the Premier League, but we'll have to wait and see. Still no update on the press conference. Please let me know. BBC now reporting that Leeds are working on a deal to sign Marseille forward Bamba Dieng, rated as one of the most exciting prospects in European football. Obviously, we're linked to the guy from Flamingo as well, or was it Fluminense? I think it was Flamingo, Pedro. Again, I can't see us doing a deal with the South American club at this stage in the window. I just don't see it. Aston Villa have no intention of selling Brazilian midfielder Douglas Luiz. I'm not right keen on him. Arsenal want him. I don't know if that's because Partey may be out longer than expected. Are they happy with Lokonga playing in there? Doesn't seem so. So they want to get Douglas Luiz. It'd be crazy if Aston Villa were to sell him. I know they were trying to get KP to sort of replace him before, weren't they? Neymar has popped up, linking him to Chelsea. That'd be interesting. Aubameyang with his broken jaw, obviously was attacked in Barcelona. They're desperate for a striker. Will that deal for Aubameyang go through? We'll have to wait and see. Let's see what's been reported. Chelsea open talks to extend James and Mount deals. Yeah, it's now been reported now on the Sky Sports News website that Leeds are active in the transfer market. They're interested in doing a deal for Marseille forward Bamba Dieng. He's a Senegal international, a player they've been tracking for a while, so he's now very much on the radar for Leeds. And I think the exciting thing for me is the fact that we aren't resting on our laurels. We've said, okay, we can't get Gakpo. He was number one, okay? Or maybe I'm not saying Hwang's better than Gakpo, but they wanted to get a quick deal done, right? And Hwang, they've probably been said, we want 20 plus. And I understand the club saying, not a chance, get in the bin. So then they've gone for Gakpo. Obviously, Gakpo hasn't happened for whatever reason. I think Louis van Gaal's army has said, you know, don't go for whatever reason. So that deal's off. Leeds United clearly did try for it. You know, the fact that we flew out on that private jet and had it booked to come back in the morning, they were confident they could do a deal. They won't have flown out on that jet if they hadn't already spoken to Cody Gakpo's people. Otherwise, it'd just be a wasted journey. Turns out it was a wasted journey anyway, but still, you know, they wouldn't have gone to that length. They've tried to get a deal. So you have to give props to Victor for that. This is the thing. Victor will have been wanting to do these deals anyway, but the club were against it. You know, this is what pisses me off about Angus's comments when he's talking about, oh, we've got 3 international strikers, etc. Everyone knew we needed a striker. Oh, we're not going to waste money if we... Well, clearly you had targets that you liked because you've now gone from Cody Gakpo straight to Bamba Dieng. You know what I mean? So it's clear that there were players there. You just didn't want to spend the money. And they've now been forced into the situation to have to spend that money because of injuries. But we could have told you as a fan base, and even though I sometimes get stick and get told to leave it to the professionals and that, what we all said, or what the majority of us said would happen, and that we needed to get strength in depth. We needed additional numbers. Proved to come to fruition. Dieng's giving me JK. No. Bamba Dieng's playing football. JK wasn't, was he? Let's hope it doesn't happen like that anyway. No, I'm not sure I agree with him being useless, D, because he brought us Rafinha, he brought us Ilian Melier, he's brought us Sinisterra. I don't agree. For every bad one, there's always a poor one, of course, but no one's got 100% hit rate, have they? No one's got 100% hit rate. Please, not Dieng. He's not good enough for the Premier League, says Smithers. I've not seen him play, bro. I can't lie to you, but stand out in the African Cup of Nations for Senegal. It's been reported by journalists that he's one of the hottest prospects in European football. So, obviously, football is about opinions. I'll tell you where I'll get a very good opinion from. Let me just open up a different source of information. And I'll see what the powers that be, the people that know ball much more than me, are saying about Bamba Dieng. Let's see what Phil Hayes just reported. He says, as Sami Mokbel DM reports, Leeds are now discussing a deal for 22-year-old forward Bamba Dieng at Marseille. Gakpo is off the table, and the club haven't been back in for Hwang since yesterday. Approach was not backed. So they obviously feel that the price for Hwang Hee-chan's too much, and I understand it. You know, those that are asking what's happened to Gnonto, he's not ready for the Premier League. We need a ready-made replacement right now. We need it now. We need someone who's going to come in and be able to adapt to the system and play football straight away. We can't mess about. And the club understand that as well. So it's like them that say, oh, give Perkins, give Joseph, give all these players a chance. They're not ready, otherwise the club, believe me, the club would sit on it because they like to risk it for a chocolate biscuit. So you can't tell me if the club felt that them players were ready, they would sit on it, because they've done it before. You know, Angus has come out before and said we don't want to stop the pathway. So they clearly think that they're not close enough. Otherwise, they would go with that rhetoric again. You know what I mean? 100% they would. I like that we're not going back in for Hwang. As much as I said previously that I would take him, I like that we're not going crazy, because for me, Hwang, Shea, they were always like a signing that would do a great job. I don't want to be paying over the odds for them. You know, when Shea Adams first came out, it was like 15 million. Obviously, that's nowhere near going to happen now due to his start to the season. With Hwang, I thought it made sense. Wolves want to sell. They've just signed a striker. We can get him for 15 odd. If they're saying, I think the figure, I think Leeds United bid 17 million. And then I read somewhere, we talked about it yesterday, that they wanted an additional, like, I think, didn't they say there was like 8 million off that figure? Like 25 million. No, I don't want to be near Hwang for that price. It'd be interesting to see what Bamba Dieng is the deal will be done for. On Transfermarkt, is rated around about 9 million. So that's quite interesting. I am going to look at on the 1 second here. I don't want to. I'm just on my Discord. I'll just see what's been saying about Bamba Dieng on Discord. Let's have a look. So someone's saying TJ Singh with Dieng, I'm a bit unsure how he'll do with the hold-up play we need. This is on the All Stats Aren't We Discord. The All Stats Aren't We lads are absolute goats. They know the ball. And I'm just seeing what some of them are saying. People like Josh Hobbs and that who I respect a lot and they know a lot. I'm just seeing what they've had to say about the deal. Okay, Hobbsy says, I think Dieng has Alan St. Maximin kind of vibes. I'm all for that. I'm all for that. Let's have a look. Nice are also interested in Bamba Dieng. Fabrizio Romano's tweet said that price tag will roughly be around about 15 million euros. Bamba Dieng, one of those really raw players, might have some value. Not sure he's a massive upgrade on an Almiron, but depth anyway. So clearly he was linked to Newcastle previously. Okay. So there seems to be a little bit of maybe that's why they made the comparison with Alan St. Maximin. Let's see what's been. Yeah, it doesn't seem to be a glowing response for him up there, and in terms of hold up play, etc. Maybe not as positive for Leeds United, but again, listen, I'm just happy that we're looking to do deals. I think that's my main thing. As I say, Phil here now giving it that rubber stamp of seal of approval as well. Isn't it interesting though now that Phil's on the back of other reporters? Do you know what I mean? So, okay, Football Daily reporting here. Let me just listen to this. So this is at Tottenham Hotspur.
For the talking player.
Let me just change that to so wireless headset. Let's have a look. There is firm interest in Dan James from Spurs. Brian Gill's still there. If he goes to Valencia, will Dan James and Lucas Moura as well. So Lucas Moura could be leaving Spurs, and he's got injuries. Yeah. So he's got inflammation of a tendon, has Lucas Moura. So Lucas Moura's injured. Brian Gill's not yet gone to Valencia, but that still deal is in the offing. So Tottenham are massively interested in Dan James. As we said before, Dan James is in limbo. You know, he's probably waiting in London for that move to Spurs. Once he finds out that move to Spurs is off, he's then got loads of other options, yeah? You're looking at Leicester, you're looking at Fulham, you're looking at Everton, other clubs that are interested in Dan James. I disagree. I disagree. And Mantra, just because one manager likes him doesn't mean that he's great. Bielsa liked him, and for me, I always back Bielsa, but I don't see what he gives, and I think he struggles in our system. And clearly, Conte likes him, Jesse doesn't. Although the news coming out from Jesse obviously likes him as an individual, happy to keep him about the place, but in terms of long-term plans, Jesse's not keen. Jesse's not keen. Yeah. So there you go. Yeah, I mean, that'd be perfect, wouldn't it be, the old man? Dan James out for 20 million, Bamba in for 12 million, plus a left back, Kai Wagner, could be one that we look at. I'd like to, I asked this question for those that say that Dan James is a good signing. What will we do? Leeds considering late move for Flamengo striker Pedro Gilherme. Again, that's Fabrizio Romano. My thing with the Pedro deal, it's in South America. I just don't see it happening personally. I can't see Leeds United being able to get a deal over the line for a player that's currently playing his trade in South America. His market value is currently set at 10.8 million. Main position centre forward, doesn't really give us the versatility that other targets have. Remember, Bamba Dieng predominantly is a centre forward, but can play across the front three. He went to Flamengo from Fiorentina for 12 million, so I don't see Leeds United getting him for around about 10. We'd have to pay more than that, and I just feel a deal for someone like him in South America would be quite difficult for us to do. And yeah, I think we would struggle with that. So we'll have to wait and see. Thanks for everyone who have tagged me and stuff. There we go. Leeds United's look. Yeah, so it said Leeds United look to hijack Lorient's move for Marseille forward Bamba Dieng at the final hour. So that's been now reported by Get French Football News. So it looks like he was on his move to on his way to FC Lorient, but Leeds United have stepped in and are looking to beat him to the move on that one. Thanks, Kev, for tagging me in that. Leeds United have reached an agreement with Marseille for the signing of Bamba Dieng. Here we go, potentially. Wait for Fabrizio Romano and stuff to rubber stamp it. But it's been reported by Transfer News Live. Dieng is 10 to 30 million, no reason to sell to buy. Now, fair enough, but I still think they want to get James and his wage off the books, I think. Personally, Arsenal are prepared to reach an agreement with Douglas Luiz on personal terms. Douglas keen on the move, work in progress. So it's saying now that we've reached an agreement. Here is the rubber stamp from that. Leeds United have reached an agreement with Marseille for the signing of Bamba Dieng. It's getting a lot of negativity. Kai says, don't want Dieng. Rom says Dieng is bad, sadly. Shocking business, says Kai. I'm in for the long haul. Yeah, I'm going to break off to do the Leeds United press conference, because I like to do a live reaction to that just ahead of our game against Brentford and see what Jesse has had to say. And then I'm going to do the Leicester Man United game tonight and see if anything happens during that. And then, of course, I'll finish up on the window as well. Josh Arthur says, lovely Dieng replaces James, money to put to a left back, and are we happy? Mate, if we get someone in that and Dieng can play centre forward, question marks over his hold up play from what I'm reading, and ideally we need that. But for me, if we got a left back, it'd be a 10 out of 10 window. All these people claiming they've known that. Yeah, I don't know anything about him. Not professed to do that. Rich says the optimism is slowly increasing. Can we get Kai Wagner to? It'd be nice, wouldn't it? But again, he's in America. I'm not too sure. Dieng escalated quickly as wrong, but yeah, brilliant. Cover is cover at the end of the day. Someone says moving like Man United, panic buying. Listen, for me, we are in this stage where I'm not advocating it, but we need to panic buy. if that ever is a thing, we need to sign We need to sign a striker. We have to. Offer has been accepted by Wolves for Dendoncker. 10 million has been accepted. Dendoncker will sign for Aston Villa. Does that mean there Douglas Luiz can go the other way? Obviously, Gerrard trying to sort that out. Victor Orta is trending. Let's just go to the actual Athletic article that was put together by Phil Hay 13 minutes ago. He says Leeds are discussing a deal for Marseille forward Bamba Dieng. I will share my screen so you can get a look at that, folks. Pay for that subscription. I'm happy to share with you. Leeds United are discussing a deal for Marseille forward Bamba Dieng after failing with approaches for Gakpo and Hwang Hee-chan. The club search for the last-minute addition of a striker to their squad has led them to Dieng. We shouldn't have to search for a last-minute addition. It should have done ages ago. Maybe we could have got him. Following an unsuccessful attempt to secure Gakpo from PSV, Victor Orta was in Eindhoven yesterday, which we know about. Hwang, meanwhile, has been the subject of interest from Leeds. I wonder, he'll be frustrated, won't he? But the West Yorkshire club are now understood to be in discussion over Dieng, the 22-year-old Senegal international. Dieng was on the verge of a move to Lorient, but Leeds have attempted to intervene with tonight's deadline less than 12 hours away. He moved to Marseille from Senegal in 2020 and made his first team debut last year. He was part of the Senegal squad that won the African Cup of Nations. Does anyone knows why Marseille want to sell? Why would Marseille want to sell? Is there something in that? Gakpo in January, I reckon? Not for me, mate, no. Take Dieng all day, fast, physical, skillful. There we go. I wonder why they're willing to sell. Is it financial constraints or what's the situation? Yeah. Let's have a look. A lot of people saying he's no good, you know. Let's have a look. Some promising numbers on FB Rock that Marseille are quite a dominant team. He seems to have played a fair bit up front. Profile-wise, he could work. A lot of people haven't seen him, though. Yeah, Hobbsy, at least Dieng would play on the last man up top, so we get that pinning of centre-backs. Someone said he's terrible. Yeah, I'll give you, he's young and adaptable, but I don't like him. He's about 5'10", 5'11", but fairly stocky. Again, I don't know much about him. I'm excited by the signature of a player, but again, I don't know much about Bamba Dieng himself. You know what I mean? So, like I say, I can only go on what I've seen online, etc. But yeah, Bamba Dieng seems to be the one. If it is a cheap deal, I'm not sure how much Lorient were signing him for. Does anyone know why he was going to leave Marseille anyway? He's been playing as well. Let's have a look what that deal was touted for. See what the deal was actually touted for 2 days ago. Marseille, Bamba Dieng favours Lorient move to Premier League. I'm not too sure that's true. This was 2 days ago. Talks so far have outlined a deal worth €8 million, which would include a sell-on fee for Marseille. I mean, if he's that cheap, then for me, you can still go out and do some more business. Barry with the super sticker, thank you very much for that. If he's that cheap, if he was going to go to FC Lorient for 8 million, let's say Leeds United have put a little bit more in, like they did with the Cody Gakpo stuff. When they went for Cody Gakpo, they tried to gazump Southampton. Let's say they've gone for 10 million or whatever it is, then surely there is still money available there to go out and get a left back or get some more additions. You know what I mean? Transfer deadline day is mad. You know, there'll be players come available that weren't initially available. You know, we know how this merry-go-round works on transfer deadline day. Again, just looking at the similar players that he's compared to, Romano's saying it's nearly done, is he? Let's have a look. If it's got this rubber stamp of approval from Fabrizio, thank you, Luis, for tagging me in it. Leeds are, yeah, Fabrizio Romano has now tweeted out, folks, to say Leeds are closing in on Bamba Dieng. Here we are. Look, they are closing in on Bamba Dieng after the Gakpo deal collapsed. It's permanent transfer, not a loan. He is now set to agree personal terms and join Leeds. Dan James could leave before the end of the window. Also, Fulham are keen on signing him. So it looks like Bamba Dieng will be in the door, folks. It looks like Leeds United will get him over the line. From Marseille, predominantly a centre-forward, only 22-year-old as well. Can play left wing, can play right wing, Senegal international. As I say, if we look at his numbers in Ligue 1, he's played 30 times overall, 7 goals and 3 assists, and played over 1,000 minutes. Played in the Europa League, Europa Conference League, and actually scored in the Europa Conference League as well. If we just look at his stats numbers on FB Ref, like I say, played 5 times last season, only started 2 games. 2 seasons ago when he was brought in. But last season, he played 25 times, had 11 starts in that time, 975 minutes, and scored 7 goals and has 1 assist to his name. Not played. We're in 22-23 now, aren't we? He hasn't played this season. Right, okay, let's go back to the chat. 732 if you're watching currently live, which is amazing. Thank you for that. My laptop's gone on the go slow there for a second. So you've got so many different pages open up. Still no update on when that press conference is going to be. Normally it's scheduled on YouTube, but it doesn't seem to be right now. Big up to all you in the chat as well. Like I said, there's 735 of you here now, which is amazing. So if you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video for me. So we have 336. Let's get that up to 400 likes. But when it's got that seal of approval from Fabrizio Romano, best believe it's almost done. Mike McGrath now tweeting it. Leeds are in talks with Marseille over a deal for Dieng. His club have reached a limit of foreign loans going out, so it must be a permanent deal. Fee around 10 million. Fee is around 10 million. Telling me press says 130. That's fine. Great for that. So apparently the fee is 10 million. Okay, so Get French Football News 8 minutes ago have tweeted out to say Bamba Dieng prefers a loan to Lorient and has yet to enter into direct talks with Leeds. Will go down to the wire. I mean, Get French Football News don't get a lot right, if I'm being honest. But on the flip side to that, Mike McGrath says his club have reached the limit of foreign loans. So therefore, he can't be loaned to Lorient. He can't be loaned to Lorient if that's true. So Mike McGrath, if you have a look here on, I'll share it with you. Get French Football News, as I say, not always 100% correct, but they're saying permanent deal agreed. Then they've changed their opinion and said he prefers a move to Lorient, and he's not yet entered talks with Leeds United. But then Mike McGrath says Leeds are in talks with Marseille over the deal. Marseille have reached their limit of foreign loans. So it's got to be a permanent deal, and the fee is believed to be around about £10 million. So there you go. It looks like that one is Lorient will compete for Dieng. So actually they're still in. It's whether Lorient are willing to pay the money, because clearly he can't be loaned. Yeah, clearly he can't be loaned. Let's have a look. We had a super chat come in from Rari who said, this is so underwhelming, Joe. When I first seen the link, I got excited. And when people are saying he's one of the most exciting prospects across Europe, however, looking at people's opinion in the chat and other like content creators or other people that I follow and respect their opinion, who watch a lot of football, who work in, I've got, I know someone, for example, who works for Opta, etc. Like when you see them who watch a lot of football and they say, not too sure, then you start to question it. Do you know what I mean? Then you do start to question it. But we'll have to wait and see. Has he even played for Marseille this year? He hasn't, Gary. No, he hasn't played this year. Not according to the stats, anyway. Let's just have a look. I want to see. I may It's just a Brighton fans asking me about Dan James. Because I was talking to him yesterday, who was a Brighton fan, just about the Dan James stuff that I'd heard. He's just asking me if I've heard anything else. Let me see. I want to ask. Funny. Someone's just sent me JT's. Or is it on YouTube now? There you go. Jesse's press conference is at 1:30. There you go. I'll probably jump off maybe at 1 o'clock, if that's all right with you folks. I'll jump off, watch the press conference, probably go live straight after that. I set it up for 2:30, but whenever the press conference ends, I just hit live on the stream. So we'll go live after that. We can also talk transfers during that time if any breaking news happens, but mainly to cover what Jesse's had to say about the squad. Obviously, the team ahead of the game at the weekend. Will Bamford start? Is he ready? How long's Rodrigo going to be out? Etc. Etc. So we'll do that, and then I'll pop back on. Like I say, I'm dedicated to that cause. Let's have a look. Okay, so I've had a text come through to say Tottenham target Dan James is expected to leave Leeds before the deadline, but a move to North London is considered unlikely at this point. Spurs have held talks over signing James as a replacement for Brian Gill, who's wanted on loan by Valencia. James has also been linked with Fulham, Everton. Toffee's interest may have cooled after Chelsea's pursuit of Anthony Gordon's ended. James is considered surplus to requirements at Ellen Road, and I said that to you. Noise was coming out that he was being touted out. I'm just going to ask my friend about Bamba Dieng. Locks is saying Leicester want Dan James. I told him that, and he wouldn't have it. He wouldn't have it because I knew that Leeds United, obviously they I was told anyway that they were touting him out to clubs. Brighton was one of them. I don't know if Brighton have said no or whatever. But if he is surplus to requirements, they will look at other players other clubs that were interested in him. Obviously, before he moved to Leeds United, Leicester were interested, Brighton were interested. Obviously, Potter worked with him at Swansea, so maybe they've been offered, and then Fulham have heard he's been offered out. Oh, we'll take a look at him. We know Spurs want him because Conte wants someone to be a bench option in effect. Joe Donoghue has reported from the YEP, Bamba Dieng and his representatives yet to be contacted by Leeds, per local outlet La Provence. Players' preference said to be Lorient could still boil down to players' decision. Currently, he's out of Igor Tudor's plans, so obviously he's not been playing for Marseille, so that's why he's available, okay? So that, again, doesn't fill me with confidence that the current manager's saying he's not in my plans. I want him gone. And again, I know not always that works, but I was initially excited, but from what I'm reading, let's have a look what Joe Donoghue's article actually says. Joe Donoghue knows ball as well, to be fair, see what he's had to say. Will United land the exceptional talent they crave? Let's have a look. 24 minutes ago, I was talking about Dest there, but he's gone elsewhere. Yeah, there's nothing really of meat and bones in that article. Jesse Marsh is due to speak to us at 1:30. Big up to those that notified me of that as well. Continue to tag me in your things. Not in the plans of a bang average club. Scary, says Smudge. Potentially, yeah. Potentially. Yeah, I like this as well, Jack. I do like that because you normally don't see that unless they're top draw. Like you either see really good defensive stats or you see really good attacking traits. So it's nice to see that. And Alex Whittaker puts a great counter narrative. Yeah. That's a great counter narrative to put across as well. That's something we have to be mindful of. But yeah, big up to everyone. Listen, we've got 722 people watching live, which is amazing. Thank you for that. If you haven't already, please do subscribe to my channel in order to get your comments in. And we've got 376 likes, so if you can, please do smash a like. Let's get that up to 400 likes. Let's check. My good friend James Marchant says Leeds are in talks with Marseille over €10 million fee, which actually equates to 8.6 million. 8.6 million is really, really cheap. No wonder Leeds United are willing to do that deal. For me, they could do with going out and spending some more money and going to get a left back. But 8.6 million for Bamba Dieng. 8 goals in 36 games for Marseille in total. No, FB Ref says 7. So I'm not sure if that's correct. But even still, it's only a difference of 1 in it. Done deal. Leicester have signed Belgium defender Wout Faes from French club. I don't know how you pronounce his name. But yeah, Leicester have signed Belgium defender Wout Faes from French club Rennes. 24-year-old comes in as a replacement for Wesley Fofana, who joined Chelsea for 70 million. So that's a done deal. Arsenal looking at Douglas Luiz for a rumoured 20 million. Youri Tielemans is valued at 30 million. Surely the more played and better returning player is a no-brainer for an extra 10 million. That's true, isn't it? Would you play 10 million more for Tielemans? But I guess you don't want to get... I mean, he's in his last year, isn't he? Dendoncker could be heading to Aston Villa, as we mentioned. Balotelli's joined FC Sion. Let's have a look, see what's been said on Sky Sports News. Wolves have accepted Villa's bid for Dendoncker. That's actually 13 million now being reported. There you go. And it says Arsenal in talks with more players than just Luiz. Is Neto or Tielemans still on the cards? Wolves have ruled out the sale of Neto, and it appears Arsenal prefer the profile of Douglas Luiz to Youri Tielemans at this moment in time. There you go. And Arsenal have actually put a bid in now. Put a bid in for Douglas Luiz at 20 million. Let's have a look. There's a lot of championship stuff. Watford have turned down Everton's offer of 25 million plus 5 million in add-ons for forward João Pedro. So Everton are not resting on just Neil Maupay. They are also looking to do business for João Pedro at Watford and a bid 25 million plus 5 million in add-ons. Arsenal and Brentford target Mudryk is set to stay at Shakhtar. It's quite interesting to see a flurry of arrivals at Leicester. Like, I found it quite interesting. I was saying, you know, that if they didn't reinvest that money from Wesley Fofana, it would be quite telling. It seems that they are. So it seems that we are. What am I on about that? Who's Rick? Anyway, it's all good. Let's see what's been said here. Leeds, yeah, I know about that one. Thanks to everyone tagging me in the stuff. Some of the stuff I'm aware of. Full agreement now sealed between Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang, his camp in Chelsea on the contract. Looks like he'll be going to Chelsea, 2-year deal plus a further year option. It's now sealed, and it's Chelsea and Barca who are now working to get the deal done as soon as possible. So Aubameyang looks like he will return to the Premier League for Chelsea. I wonder how Arsenal fans are reacting to that, feeling to that. They do need a striker, Chelsea. So is Dan James staying put, asks Lauren. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think Leeds United. I mean, and look, I don't know much about Bamba Dieng, and I'm seeing a few people being quite dismissive of him. I don't know him, so I can't really comment. I'm just reading what I've seen. But it could be good business because Leeds United will be paying less than 10 million for Bamba Dieng and look to recoup around about 20 million for Dan James and get Dan James's wages off the books as well. I'd imagine Bamba Dieng's not on a lot of money. I know FB Ref are reporting that he's on 769 euros a week. That can't be right. I mean, if he's not even on £1,000, I can't see that. I can't see that being the thing for a team that are playing in the Champions League. But you know, Dan James, by all accounts, is on 50 grand a week. So if you take that out, plus you get money for him and replace him with Bamba Dieng, you know, that it helps the club. But what I would say to that, it puts us even more in the. It puts us even more on the in the blue or the green, whatever you call it. Not in, so if we look at our net spend, we'd be in a profit even more so than we are now. So if we do bring Bamba Dieng in, I'd still like us to go out and get a left back because there's surplus money there. There's surplus money there, isn't there? So go and get a left back. Theo says, fall from grace, Gakpo to some random youngster. In the black. Sorry, Steve. Yeah, so we've gone from the red into the black. What did I say, blue or green? There we go. Thank you for that, Rune. Red debt, black profit. Yeah, so we'd be in a profit. So for me, like, go and get a left back. Wolves have accepted that bid now for Dendoncker from Villa, so it looks like he'll be going. We know Leicester have completed that deal as well. Aubameyang and Chelsea thrashing out a deal. Let's see what's changed on BBC. Told there is no movement between Brighton and in their pursuit of Scottish international Billy Gilmore. Graham Potter wants him in, but it'd need to be a permanent one because they've already loaned Levi Colwell this season. So it'd be interesting to see what happens with that, especially when you consider people were talking him up like he was the next best thing. He's not getting game time at Chelsea. Will they be willing to send him out on a permanent? Latest on Sky Sports News. Let's have a look. Would Arthur Melo fit into Liverpool's playing style? Why isn't he playing at Juventus? Is he a panic buy? Someone's responded saying Liverpool don't do panic buying. They have tracked Arthur Melo for a long time, along with a number of other clubs. Arsenal were keen to sign him in January, but he wants to keep playing Champions League football. Arthur is known for his passing range, short and long, and breaking up play. He gets about the midfield very quickly. Juventus play it a different way, and Max Allegri has preferred a trio of Locatelli, McKennie, and Adrien Rabiot, who did not join Manchester United, remember. Should we ask the question? We want to bring you to the minute transfers. Yeah. Someone go to the Sky Sports Q&A, right? I tell you what, why don't we see if we can get one of us on there, right? So on here, if you go to Sky Sports and go to their transfer news, you can actually ask Lyle Thomas. So if you click this, it will take you through to his Twitter page. Someone go through to him and ask him about Bamba Dieng. He clearly knows the European market. Get on over and ask Lyle, Sky Sports Lyle, say, talk to us about Bamba Dieng. Ask is Bamba Dieng an improvement on Dan James? Can Bamba Dieng lead the line for Leeds United in their current system? Get on over, guys. Pepper him. 735 people watching. He's there to answer questions. You can see here he's answered the ZX one to Spurs, the Melo to Liverpool. He's answered a number of ones. So let's get into him. Everyone get on over and ask Lyle Thomas, is he better than Dan James? Can he lead the line for Leeds United? Get on over and ask Lyle Thomas and see if he can... If he'll answer our question, and we'll see if it gets, it reaches their transfer page. So get on over and ask Lyle Thomas. Let's have a look. See if we've had any more notifications on the old Twitter sphere. Not as of yet. It's gone a little bit quiet, obviously. Arsenal defender Hector Bellerin remains in talks over a mutual termination. He wants to move to Barcelona. Bamba Dieng incoming, definitely seems to be the case. Sam Edozie and Juan Lloris are going to Southampton, confirmed as revealed yesterday. Now medical going for both. Man City confirmed they will have a buyback clause on both players. I've liked Southampton's business, I've really liked Southampton's business. They've changed tact, they've changed the system up. I was saying Ralph was you know, maybe for the high jump. Then they get that 2 goals against Leeds, and now they've really kicked on. Happy Kilmore says Joe Lyle is going to get tortured by Leeds fans now. I don't know. Let's see if we can have that impact. Let's see if we can have that impact. No, not for any stretch of the imagination. Is Danny Rose a viable option at left back for Leeds United? He's 32. He's done. Minecraft Dave says Sky Sports Lyle, is Bamba Dieng better than Dan James? Can he hold up play like, for instance, Bamford? There we go, Minecraft Dave. There's one in the bank. Get on over and check that out. Definitely get on over and do that. We'll keep checking in with that to see if he answers your question, pal. Phase will be very good buy for Leicester, says European football expert Andy Brazil. It's worked out quite well for Woodface. If you go back to the weekend, he thought he was going to Torino, but at last minute, Torino decided to undercut Rem and decided they're not going to pay the 15 million. He had his bag packed and was ready to come, so was really disappointed that the move to Torino didn't happen. But then Leicester came into his lap, and he's really the exact type of signing Leicester need. So there you go. Guys, and girls, and in-betweens, keep going over and peppering that. Sky Sports Lyle, how good is Bamba Dieng? Could he be a hold-up? Could he hold up as a striker for Leeds, says Tracy. There you go. Keep asking. Everyone's tagging me in it as well. There we go. Javier, pay his fee then, please. That's all you're talking about, Rafinha there. Javier dropped me a message yesterday. Yeah. Marseille fans don't seem too happy with Bamba leaving, which is always a positive sign. That is true. Let's have a look at see what's been. If we go to, let's have a look. Bamba Dieng. Let's go back to Fabrizio Romano's tweet and see what the general response is from Marseille fans. Obviously, we'll have to convert it from French to English, but. Crystal Palace have submitted second bid for Ronnie Edwards, 4 million plus 4 million in add-ons. I don't know much about Ronnie Edwards. Right, Fabrizio Romano's tweet. Let's have a look at some of the responses. I'm looking for French responses. All I'm seeing is English at the minute. There doesn't seem to be any. It's all English. Let's have a look. Right. We need to search Marseille's Twitter. What's Marseille's hashtag? Tell you what, let's just put Dieng into Twitter. There we go. Bamba Dieng. Right, okay. Here's one. Clearly Leeds, they have to put half more on Dieng, not crazy on the last day. It's crazy these clubs who don't want to put crazy sums on our players. That's rubbish. Where's that one just gone? Absolutely no doubt that Dieng will leave OM for Leeds or Lorient. Leeds have a lot more money than Lorient, but Dieng wanted to join Lorient. No idea if he prefers to join Leeds now. That's from I Am French. Someone's put Arsenal should sign Bamba Dieng. Let's have a look. Note that according to rumours, Lorient offers 8 million and Sutherland Leeds offers 10. Would need another English club for Bamba Dieng's price to rise. Okay, they're trying to hike up that price. See, no, I don't see people kicking off. English clubs buy average players for 30 million. Dieng is really a little crack, and he will prove it. We'll bite our fingers. He will leave in 2 years for 40 million. There you go. People saying we should be paying more. We don't know how to sell players. Why are we selling him so cheap? There you go. We shall see. Tom Carnduff's tweeted out. Right, okay. Leeds target Bamba Dieng only started in 11 of his 24 appearances for Marseille in Ligue 1 last season, but he had 0.63 goals and 0.65 XG per average match. Did well with the minutes that he played. Scores an absolute worldie there. I can't share it with you because last time I shared it with you, I got copy struck, even though it was only a small clip. But if you go to Tom Carnduff's Twitter, there's a lovely clip of him there scoring an absolute worldie volley Let's have a look at him here in the build-up to this. Dieng carries it up on halfway. It's a very, very good goal, to be fair. Oh, lovely strike, Dieng. Lovely strike. Have a bit of that, Leeds United. Have a bit of that. We've had a Fabrizio Romano tweet. Leeds official bid for Bamba Dieng has been accepted. It's around 10 million. With add-ons included. Leeds wanted Hwang, but Wolves are not open to letting go. There you go. So he's a secondary option to Wang Hee-chan. But it looks like Leeds United have won the race for him. It just depends whether or not we see if Bamba Dieng is the man that, you know, he agrees to come to Leeds over Lorient. We'll have to check that out. For those that have said, where is that vid? It's Tom Carnduff on Twitter. Tom Carnduff on Twitter. I'll drop it a retweet for you. I'll drop it a retweet on my timeline. Josh Arthur's tagged me in it. There's a retweet on my timeline of the goal from Bamba Dieng, so go check that out, folks. Let's have a look on the Sky transfer deadline day, see if he's answered our Bamba Dieng question. Tristan Gay, Palace in talks over the move for Peterborough's Edwards. Nothing on there as of yet. Let's have a look. So we're just waiting. Right, okay, Sky Sports News now coming out saying that 3 Premier League clubs are interested in signing Dan James from Leeds United. Who them 3 clubs are, let's have a look. Oh, we know who they are, don't we? Fulham, Everton and Spurs. There you go. Square Ball have tweeted out a YouTube highlights clip of Bamba Dieng. So you can check that out if you wish. Before you do check that out, though, please do smash a like on this video. We've got 445 likes and there's 750 people watching. So if you can, please do smash a like on my stream. We will be cutting off at around 1 o'clock as we look ahead to the press conference that is live at 1:30. Ronan Lee says, keep Dan James. I'm not sure about that. I don't understand what he brings. And listen, I don't know much about Bamba Dieng, but I'm thinking he'll give us more. Let's wait and see. My man Ash says Bamba Dieng, the player that is going to win Leeds, the Premier League. I hope you're right. If we sell James, I'd pay the extra to get Hwang. No, not at 25 to 30 million. Not for me, mate. Nah, not at 20 million. I don't think. I think for me, it's too pricey. I'd have been happy between 15 to 20, but don't want to go over that. Dusan Kabak is trending. What's been said about him? Oh, it's about the panic buy stuff because when they bought Kabak, it was terrible learning. Now, is he still playing at Norwich? I remember being on the Trippers and Liverpool fans saying he was a good signing. Steve Cooper's coming out and saying Forest are still trying to make late moves. Mad that, you know. It's mad. And there's no give up. Every time I see Steve Cooper do a press conference, he just says, yeah, we're still doing deal. We're still doing deal. Why are we selling James easily? Our best player. You're on the wind up, Rari. You're on the wind up. No, nothing about Ryan Kent, mate. And I think we've gone past that now. I think we've gone past that. Let's have a look. Yeah, I don't think that. Okay, KK says, I know this is all about clicks, but anyone who thinks anything will happen with Leeds is dreaming. We are going to sign Bamba Dieng. Clip it up, KK. We will sign Bamba Dieng. It's done. It's done. So, I think it's a bit wild. Looks like Villa are getting Gallagher and selling Luiz to Arsenal. There you go. That would be a good sign. I've not seen any sort of Gallagher links to Villa. I haven't seen that at all as of yet. Not something I've seen. Crystal Palace, like I said, have made a bid for Peterborough's Edwards. 4 million plus 4 million in add-ons. Confirmation that Wolves are selling Dendoncker to Villa, wasn't it? Willy Bolly's going to exit to Nottingham Forest as well. So there's 2 spare slots in Bruno Lage's squad. Could Wolves do some bits? Craig says, do you think we could go for anyone else if we get Dieng, Joe? Or is that it? I'd like us to. I'm not sure we will. I don't think we will, you know. But then again, I didn't think we'd go for Gakpo. BBC now reporting, saying that there is progression, and Fabrizio Romano has said that the bid has now been accepted for Bamba Dieng. So it looks like that's going to happen. Keep an eye on Billy Gilmore to Brighton. Fulham are close to signing Carlos Vinicius from Benfica, according to The Athletic. He spent time on loan at Tottenham under Jose Mourinho. Who can remember when he scored that goal in the cup? We've done it. Been accepted. Doesn't mean that he'll come. Doesn't mean he'll come though, does it? We had this issue with Gakpo. Breaking news on Sky Sports. Leeds have agreed a deal with Marseille for striker Bamba Dieng. The fee for the 22-year-old will be in excess of 10 million. Dieng is expected to fly into the UK later today for a medical and to finalise personal terms. Fulham had held talks with Marseille over the signing of the Senegal international this summer. It is done. He is on his way to Leeds United. Where's Kai, who told me this is all about clicks? Where are you, brother? Where are you? Where are you, my guy? There you go, you. Stupid little plonker. Nice, done. It looks like it's done. Breaking news. Leeds United have got that deal over the line. Of course, you've got to pass a medical, etc. But it looks like the deal's done. Those that are asking me to retweet it, it's probably on Twitter. I've not been over, but it's there on the Sky Sports news page just 1 minute ago. Leeds have agreed a deal with Marseille for the Marseille striker Bamba Dieng. It's believed to be in excess of 10 million. Expected to fly into the UK later today for a medical and to finalise personal terms. So he's clearly happy with the move to the Premier League. He'd held talks with Marseille over signing the Senegal international earlier this summer with Fulham. Whatever happened, that didn't go through. It looks like Leeds United are going to get that deal done. There you go. So that one's going to go. Oh, KK, you're not allowed to do that. You're not allowed to do that. I see this a lot. I seen this yesterday when we were talking about Hwang Hee-chan. You can't suddenly change. You've got to stick by your guns, brother. Still time for it to collapse. Yeah, definitely. Still. Yeah. Exactly, mantra. This is what I'm saying. I have to wait and see. True, Joe. True. Didn't know anything about him, but you didn't know anything about Rafinha. Same here. You know, I didn't. Paul says, interesting, we're 16-1 for Lucas Moura now. Lucas Moura's injured. He doesn't fit the profile of player that we'll go in for, so that's not going to happen for me, and nor do I want it to. I don't want Lucas Moura. There you go. It's getting the rubber stamp now from all the top tier journalists as well to say that the deal's agreed and he's on his way to England. I'm hopeful that Leeds United will not stop there. Please don't stop there. Get that left back. Get that left back and we're done. Please don't stop there. Go get Kai Wagner. Do you know what I mean? Go get a left back. There's enough there, isn't there? There's enough left to get that left back and make this a 10 out of 10 window. For me, anyway, personally. Especially if you're selling James, there is enough in the coffers to go out and get some more. For me personally, our budget gone now after that? I don't think so. There we go. It's been reported now on Sky Sports News as well to say that the deal is done, and he's on his way to Leeds United. So Jesse Marsh will clearly speak about that. He may speak about Cody Gakpo as well. Yeah, love that. The Dieng volley like a prime McCormack versus Donny. Wagner, yeah, make it happen. It'd be nice. There's still money available, isn't there? There is still money available. Let's see now what's been said about Dieng over on the Discord. Let's have a look. People say he's not that good at holding the ball up. Works the channels well. Let's have a look. People saying he doesn't sound great. Where does Dieng rate next to our previous targets like Kalimawendo, Terrier, and Nketiah and CDK? Below all of them. There you go. He does get back quite a bit. Does his best stuff motoring forward in transitions from deep positions. We don't seem to sit that deep. But again, he does caveat that with saying he hasn't watched him an awful lot. Alan Nixon said this one's moving as fast as the lad himself, so clearly has pace. Let's have a look. I'm just trying to see what Dieng will do. Time to settle in and watch him play. Stats-wise, he looks decent, says Martin, formerly of All Leeds TV. There you go. 10 million for a raw target with something approaching the profile we need is fine, particularly if Fulham give us 20 million for Dan James. That's a good point, isn't it? It is a good point. That Leeds United will have money left over. You know, we'll even be more in the black. So let's go out and get a left back for me. Do you know what I mean? I think personally, go out and get a left back. I don't think the club will. I think we all can probably agree to that. But yeah, I don't know. I think we'll all probably say, "No, that's gonna happen." People are saying Kai Wagner. I nearly did that Kai Wagner then, didn't I? Kai Wagner. So, but for me, don't stop at that. You know, let's go out and get a left back and make it top tier window. You know what I mean? So let's please do that. Let's see if our guy's responded to the Bamba Dieng stuff. He hasn't as of yet. There we go. Let's see. Barcelona are reportedly close to signing Arsenal fullback Hector Bellerin. There you go. Man United's Chong is likely to go on loan to Birmingham City. Arthur on his way to Liverpool. Let's have a look. See what else has been reported. I am just going to need to go for a piss. I'm dying for a piss. I've drunk a lot of fluids this morning. Let me just go for a piss. I'll be 2 minutes. Thank you for that, folks. Sorry about that. I just needed to go for a piss. Yeah. Thank you for waiting patiently there. A lot of people seem to be disappointed with the signing of Bamba Dieng. Remember, I asked earlier if Leeds United would sign a striker. It's currently going down, obviously, because people are changing their mind. But 69% at the time said that Leeds United wouldn't sign a striker. I'm going to put another poll out now. We will ask, are you happy with Dieng? Right, I'm going to ask the community now. A lot of people saying he's a dud, not great, and they may have watched him play. This is the thing; they may have watched him play. I haven't, so I can't sit here and say, you know, he's great or whatever. But what Leeds Yank says, why are they saying he's a dud? We'll have to wait and see. 7 more likes for 500, which is amazing. Thank you for supporting, as is always the case. We've had like upwards of nearly 800 people in. I'd love to get to 1,000 live viewers. That'd be great. Just continue to like the video. It helps the algorithms. The more likes we get, the more views, more subscribers, and all that sort of stuff as well. We only surpassed 15k the other day, and we're on our road to 16 already, which is absolutely amazing. So thanks everyone for your continued support on the channel. Yeah, give him a chance. Listen, I know people disagree with me, but it'll be an improvement on Dan James personally, I think. Anyway, I think it will be an improvement on Dan James. Okay, let's see what else is being said. Have we got any more notifications to come through? It's all gone a little bit quiet, hasn't it? It's all gone a little bit quiet. It did move really quickly. Baron Cross says less than 11 hours of the transfer window to run. Dieng, the latest forward. Leeds want to fill the vacancy they have carried all summer. Apparently not according to the club until everyone got injured. But yes, we as fans knew that we needed that. Neither Leeds nor James pushing for his exit. I disagree. But an arrival does cast doubt on his pre-World Cup playing time. I disagree. They are pushing for that exit. Trust and believe. Let's have a look. Surely we go for Wagner. I've done it again, Wagner. No, but Jamie, you've got to factor in Dan James as well. His minutes would be even more limited if Dieng comes in, and then you know he's got the World Cup and that to consider. So no, and you don't want to carry someone who's on 50 grand a week, you know, that isn't going to play, and he's not part of your manager's plans. This is what I'm saying. He's not part of Jesse's plans. That's clear. You know what I mean? So, but even still, I disagree with this. Like, he's pace, but he does nothing with it. I think he does nothing with it anyway. But that's just my opinion. But yeah, I'd be getting straight on that phone. Benfica striker Carlos Vinicius, obviously previously at Spurs under Mourinho, is close to signing for Fulham for £5 million. Chong is going to Birmingham City from Manchester United on loan. Akanji's been added to Fantasy Premier League at £5 million. If you fancy that, I had a good day yesterday, got some decent points. Obviously, Jesse Marsh's press conference coming up at 1:30 as well. Remember, I'll be jumping off soon, probably about 1. You know, I'm going to have some food and watch the press conference, and then I'll do my live reaction to that. And then we'll assess what's going on and come back live, and that I've got you covered today. So remember, as the intro tells you, to keep it locked in the Just Joe Football Show. We have got you covered throughout the day. Stephen says he's staying in Philly, it seems like, on about Kai Wagner. Will likely be next transfer window. Jesse wants him, dude to beast. Yeah, well, I think we should go for him personally, but I don't think we will. Josh Hobbs, my good man, says, I have some reservations. This is talking about Bamba Dieng. He says, I have some reservations, but no way I'll argue with that deal. I wanted us to move on other options of our other targets failed, and we're doing so. So I can't be complaining about it. Yeah, it's true. This is what I'm saying. My worries were that we wouldn't move, you know what I mean? Because there was talk that we'll go again in January. So it almost felt like the club would say, yeah, we tried, but we can't, so we're going to move in January, you know what I mean? But I'm glad that we've gone out and addressed an issue in the squad, you know. Connor, my good man, says 100% convinced we've just signed Caleb Ekiban, 0.2. Oh, no, Carla. No. Carla says, hear me out. Danny Rose is a left back, now a free agent. No, Carla. If you're watching, I know you've tweeted it. Not for me. Okay, so Andy Brasil is talking about Bamba Dieng on Sky Sports News now. Let's see what he's had to say. 1 second, I can't let you hear it, so I'll get the thing, but let me just listen. Andy Brasil knows his stuff as well on the Football Ramble. Let's listen to what he's had to say. Young player, absolutely enormous potential, strong, scores spectacular goals, absolute bargain. And he says it's an absolute bargain. So just to reiterate again what he's had to say, Andy Brasil, I listen to him regularly on the Football Ramble. He knows European football. He knows ball. Yeah, big up Connor. Yeah, there you are, brother. 1 sec. Right, okay. Let me just get back on that. I love that from Andy Brasil. That's made me feel a little bit better. So he says, young player with enormous potential. Absolutely enormous potential, he says. Capable of scoring spectacular goals. Strong. Makes good runs. I think he'll do great for Leeds. An absolute bargain. An absolute bargain. That's the key thing as well. So there you go. Yeah, man. So he was asked about, I guess so basically, Andy Brasil, I've just been sent a further clip by Steve Homelander. Big up to Steve. I've retweeted it. It's on my timeline, folks. It's on my timeline. But basically, he was asked the question about Fulham. Because obviously, Fulham have just signed Carlos Vinicius, and they were linked to Bamba Dieng. And he says, I'd rather have Bamba Dieng than Vinicius. Different profiles. So he's got a weird contract, right? So we're going to find the reasons as to maybe why the deal has gone. So let's just listen. So he's got a weird contract situation. Signed it at the start of the summer. He's got a year left, sorry. So they wanted to sell him. Change coaches. So that's another reason why Marseille are letting him go, because they've changed coaches. The new coach isn't big on him. Enormous potential, like I say. Love that then. Love that. And listen, as much as I take a lot of people, when I hear it from someone like Andy Brasil, I'm good. Andy Brasil, sorry. Andy Brasil. I don't know why I'm putting that on it. There you go. So yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy. Yeah, that's a good point by James, who said no one had heard about Gvardiol before he chose Leipzig. Now he's linked with the move to Chelsea. Fair play. Yeah, man. I'm happy now. I'm happy. I don't know about you. Yeah, here. So here's a great. If you have a look here as well, I'll share this with you, folks. I'm able to share this. So this is Simon from Analytical Footy. It's been retweeted by the Square Ball. So Bamba Dieng last season, League One, Ligue 1, and Europa League combined. Small sample size, didn't play an awful amount of games, but absolutely popping the goal scoring underlying numbers. As long as the below par pressing is system dependent, so he hasn't not watched enough of Marseille, then this would be a superb signing. So what he's saying, obviously, although his pressing numbers are low, that could be due to the system. Yeah. So I was reading earlier on that Marseille are quite a dominant team. They keep possession. They have a lot of the ball. So therefore, maybe are not so into their pressing. Yeah. So although his pressing numbers don't look huge, that could be down to the system that they play. I believe I was seeing on the Discord that maybe they play a little bit deeper, have possession, and like to get runs in behind. That was similar to the goal that he scored on the clip that I shared. But in terms of his numbers and the underlying numbers from his goal scoring ability, you can see here it's right at the top of the percentiles. It's right at the top of the charts. Okay, we want a pressing centre forward, etc. But with Leeds United as well, it's not just solely based on that one individual, is it? It's a situational press, it's a counter press, and we all go in bunches. You know what I mean? It's very thought out and methodical, I think, now. You know when to press and how to press. So provided, and like he says here, you know, he mustn't have watched a lot of them, but Simon says as long as the below par pressing isn't system dependent, therefore I've not watched enough of Marseille, but let's say they don't press, then obviously that'll be the reason why his numbers are low. This is why I was making that comparison on Hwang Hee-chan as well. Because when people were saying, no, he doesn't score a lot, you've got to factor in the system that they're playing as well. The system that they're playing. And for those that are asking his age as well, like's being said, he's 22-year-old, which it fits our profile. And if he comes in and look how low the price is as well, as we've just mentioned, the price is dirt cheap. The price is dirt cheap. So that's good. You know what I mean? That is very, very good. Let me just check something here. I was just checking. Right, okay. I'm just conscious of the chat. I'm just checking things out as people are getting comments in, etc. Let's have a look at what else has been said. Yeah, Andy Brassels, like someone said, knows ball is peace. Yeah, people know that. People know about Andy Brassel. Left back, maybe Josh Tyman, potentially. Someone else has just thrown that name out there as well. But it's great to see that them numbers from Bamba Dieng, isn't it? So that is cool to see that. So that's great, and that gives me positives. That gives me positives about the signing of Bamba Dieng. Fabrizio Romano has just tweeted. What's he tweeted? Chelsea and Barcelona have now reached an agreement in principle for Aubameyang. So it'll be 14 million plus Marcus Alonso to Barcelona. Aubameyang is expected to fly to London in the upcoming hours once details are resolved. Obviously worked with Tommy Tuchel before, Tommy Tactical Tuchel. So that could be a good signing for Chelsea. They definitely need a striker. 12:39. There was an update on BBC Sport to say that Leeds are given no from Wolves on Hwang. So there could be some movement at Leeds in the next few hours with them my God, come on, sort your teeth out. I hate when I do that. I've changed my sound to then. You can't even hear what I've just done. Fabrizio Romano said they also wanted Hwang Hee-chan, but Wolves said they're not willing to sell, which I find strange. I just think it was the funds that was put up. Dan James to Fulham. So it's saying that Fulham have made a late offer for him. Could he move to Fulham? Potentially. So there's a lot happening, both incoming and outgoing, considering Leeds United. Man United fans are starting to ask the question, why aren't they going for Tielemans? It doesn't seem to have got that move through to Arsenal. So it is interesting why people aren't going for Yuri Tielemans, isn't it? Maybe they're waiting, and then boom, right towards the end. Let's have a look. Southampton's Valerie heading to France. So Southampton defender Jan Valerie is on his way to France, to Angers. Let's have a look. Benfica striker is close to joining Fulham, so Vinicius is on his way there. No sort of updates, anything further at this point. Let's have a look. Khalid Takar and Vinicius on their way to the Premier League. Southampton are close to completing the deal for Khalid Takar. Gvardiol is staying at Leipzig. That's the latest on that. Medical. Yeah, I'm not sure. People are asking about the Transfer. It's panic buying. This won't work. Transfer to please the fans. I don't think Leeds are in the business of that. Someone's just said to me. Someone's just said to me there, Joe, this is a panic buying. This won't work. Transfer to please the fans. We know our group of owners don't make transfers to please the fans. That's not something they do. So I don't agree with that at all. People disagree that it'll be a 10 out of 10 window. Yeah, that's fair enough in terms of personnel. I understand. But if we get a left back, then for me, it would be up there. Okay. Joe's too busy to read our feeble comments in the chat, says Milky. I'm looking at them all. I'm sorry. I said at the start, mate, please don't take it. I'm obviously doing all that. You know, I can sit here and read your comments, but then I can't keep you updated on that. My apologies. But I will try my best. I keep looking across. So my apologies, mate. Brazil best not be gassing him up and turn out to be gash. Well, 1 in, 1 out is ridiculous for me. What would you like? What would you like? Leeds get their man, says the Dragon Kill 96. Looks that way, doesn't it? It won't be announced till later on, will it? It will not be announced till later on. Let's see if we've got any updates. We've got about 10 minutes more to do, and then I'm gonna pop and have some food before we go back to watch Jesse's presser. Let's have a look. Someone's just sent me a video. Big up, Chris. Nice. I can't share it, bro. I can't share it. But Bamba Dieng on Instagram just sharing one of his goals. If you want to check that out, folks. Obviously won the African Cup of Nations, on his way to Leeds United as we speak. Big up to Bamba Dieng, Adidas footballer as well. Yeah, get on over and follow him. Have your lunch with us, Joe. It's a big day, yeah. There you go. We need a left back. I think we need to keep pushing the Wagner deal through. That'd be nice, wouldn't it, if we could do that? Yeah, there is a little bit of that, Matt. There is a little bit of that, but ultimately, you know, there's no. My hat's hurting. You have to do on my hair. The receiver's back in full flow. There is a little bit of that, but listen, there's no sentiment in football, is there? There's no sentiment in football, nor should there be, because they listen. If Dan James was offered more money from a different club, he would go and wouldn't be like, no, I need to be faithful till it's how the cookie crumbles. Do you know what I mean? Let's be honest. So, you know, sometimes you have to take that. But we'll have to wait and see. There you go. Let's see. Leeds United have just tweeted out, but they're tweeting out about Luis Sinisterra's numbers. People will be like, don't do that, Wilson. Don't do that, Wilson. Riding his dick. Sorry. 773 viewers. Please do smash a like on the video. We've got 568 likes. If we could get up to 600, that'd be good. Even Phillips left us. Yeah, exactly. This is what I'm saying. Let's have a look. Sax Glenn says Lorente, Firpo, and Dieng out. Dieng out before you've even seen him play for us. Come on now. Come on. I agree with Scott Halls, who said still need a left back, get Strauch at centre back and get rid of Lorente. I'm not sure sell Lorente. I'm not advocating that, but I do think we do need another left back and move Strauch back into the centre back positions for sure. For me, I agree with you there, mate. Southampton defender Jack Stevens has completed his medical ahead of a season-long loan to Bournemouth. Newcastle are in talks for West Ham's Ashby. Obviously, Leeds United were linked as well. Highly rated by David Moyes, but it looks like he's a right back, under 21 international. Eddie Howe could be looking at him. We know that Leeds United were linked to him. That's quite interesting. So we'll have to watch that one. I don't see us making a move for a right back though, if I'm being totally honest. We'll see. Being told. Oh, so it looks like Chong will actually join Birmingham City as opposed to a loan. Being told it's a 5-year contract to Simon Stone. There you go. Let's have a look, see what else is being said, see no comments. Joe Bamba Dieng's wiki said he'll be shortly joining the Leeds United Yankees. I love that. I love that. He can play alongside N'Golo Yankee, can't he? And there you go. He can do that. I'm all good with that. 596 likes. If you haven't already, please do smash a like on the video. Let's get 600 likes. It's all gone a little bit quiet on the news front currently. Listen, we've had some great numbers. It's absolutely amazing. Thank you so much for following my channel on deadline day. I'm gonna end it there, I think, because it looks like it's all gone a bit quiet. So I am now going to have some food and wait for Jesse Marsh's press conference, which starts at 1:30. I will schedule the video for 2:30, but just have your notifications on, because as soon as his press conference finishes, I will go straight live. So make sure you check out that a little bit later on. We'll react to what he's had to say about team news. Obviously, he'll have a chat about Gakpo, maybe the potential signing of Dieng. So do that. Watch the press conference if you want. If not, I'll be reacting to it after that fact, and then we'll have a look and see where the land lies, whether or not it's going live, worth going live later on as well. But listen, let's have a look. Just before you do go, this is the guy Rick, who I don't need to follow Rick anymore. I will follow him, but I can turn notifications on Rick, the guy who was reporting all the PSV stuff to us. Cristiano Ronaldo is with the Manchester United squad for Leicester. No one wants him, man. Douglas Luiz is pushing to join Arsenal. He wants the move. £20 million. Obviously, Villa have signed Dendoncker as well. But yeah, listen, I think we'll leave it there. 2 more signings and we should be well sorted, says Milky. I'm not sure we'll get them in. We'll wait and see. But join me at around about 2:30 for live reaction to Jesse Marsh's press conference. Thanks for tuning in. I'm going for some dinner and I'll see you in a bit. Enjoy the rest of your day, folks. Peace, man.